2:11 a.m. Arctic Ocean, 230 miles north of Swalbard. The Arctic is silent. Not peaceful, silent. A cold, empty place where no light can survive, no sound travels far, and no mistake goes unnoticed. Under 700 meters of old ice, the U.S. Navy's most powerful fast attack submarine, the USS Connecticut SSN-22, moved slowly through the black water. This was not a patrol, not a training mission, not routine. It was an investigation. Satellite readings over the past 48 hours showed strange heat patterns beneath the ice, heat signals where none should be. Washington feared a broken Russian reactor. NORAD feared an unknown under-ice building. NATO feared military buildings, so the Connecticut was sent to find out. 2:17 a.m. The first clue. The sonar operator froze. A faint pulse. Rhythmic, mechanical, not nature, not ice-breaking, not sea animals, something man-made. He ran a test. The computer said, unknown structure. 39 Hz harmonic signature. The captain leaned forward. Structures don't exist here. Not in this faraway part of the Arctic. Not beneath the permanent ice layer. Something was wrong. And then the submarine's magnetic detector turned on. A soft alarm blinked red, metal. A lot of it. Close. 2:20 a.m. rising toward the ice shelf. The USS Connecticut went up slowly, stopping just 40 meters below the frozen ceiling. Then it appeared. At first, it looked like a dark shadow. Then the edges sharpened. Then the crew realized what they were seeing. A flat wall of steel, curved, dozens of meters long, a structure built directly into the bottom of the Arctic ice shelf. The sonar operator whispered, "Sir, that's not a ship. It's not moving." The captain's voice was steady. "Scan for doors." 2:23 a.m. The impossible discovery. The submarine's forward cameras adjusted, and the truth showed itself. Bolted into the bottom of the ice, hidden deeper than satellites could see, hidden by the frozen world above, was a huge under-ice building. Metal plates, strong steel beams, sonar-absorbing surfaces, heat exhaust pipes, a docking door large enough to hold a submarine. A secret Russian under-ice base, something even U.S. intelligence didn't know existed. The executive officer breathed out sharply. "My God, how long has this been here?" No one knew. And that was the scary part. 2:28 a.m. No radio, no surface, no help. Under Arctic ice, communications were nearly impossible. The Connecticut couldn't go to the surface, couldn't send a message to satellite, couldn't alert command. They were alone, and they found something they were never supposed to see. The captain gave the order. Silent running. "Bring us closer." The submarine drifted forward. Lights off. Engines whispering. 2:31 a.m. The docking bay opens. Then something happened. Something no one aboard expected. The giant metal door on the bottom of the ice opened. Slow, mechanical, controlled. A gate, a door, a submarine-sized entrance. The sonar operator whispered, movement inside the structure. Inside the pitch-black opening, something was moving. A vessel, a drone, an automatic system. No one knew. 2:33 a.m. heat spike. The Connecticut sensors caught a sudden heat burst. A surge of hot water. Engine exhaust. Propulsion. Something large was powering up behind the opening. The captain's voice was ice-cold calm. "Brace for contact." 2:34 a.m. visual confirmation. For a moment, the opening stayed dark, still, silent. Then two faint red lights appeared in the darkness, like eyes. Then a third, a fourth. Then the shape behind them moved, showing a whole shape, angular, unfamiliar, not matching any known Russian submarine type. A drone, a prototype, a black project submarine. The sonar operator's voice trembled. "Sir, I can't identify it." And then the shape moved forward, slowly, carefully, toward the USS Connecticut. 2:36 a.m. The Arctic Standoff. The Connecticut held its position. The unknown Russian vessel glided toward them. Its red running lights dim but clearly on purpose. The XO whispered, "They see us." The captain clenched his jaw. They knew we were coming, but how? No messages were sent. No noise gave away their location. The Russian vessel stopped 50 meters away. Perfectly still, facing the U.S. submarine directly. Then a sonar ping, just one. Sharp, short, exact. A message, a warning, a threat. 2:38 a.m. The message they never expected. The sonar team decoded the ping structure. After several seconds, the computer translated, "You should not be here." Then another ping, "Turn back." The captain swallowed. Russia wasn't denying the base. They were guarding it, and they were ready to protect it, even from a US submarine. Then the Russian vessel released a second pulse, different, deeper, coded. The computer struggled to process it. Then the translation appeared. "We are not alone here." The crew stared at the screen, confused. What does that mean? The captain didn't answer because he didn't know. But then another sonar signal appeared. Not Russian, not American, not matching any reference database. Something deep beneath the ice shelf. Something unmapped, something moving. The sonar operator whispered, "Sir, we have a third contact." 2:41 a.m. The unknown approaches. The Arctic water vibrated. Low, deep, unnatural. The new contact moved slowly, carefully, closing in on both submarines. The computer tried to identify it. Failed. Tried again. Failed. Then it showed 3 words no crew ever expects to see: signature unknown. Non-standard propulsion. And the Russian vessel responded instantly. Lights dimming, engines shifting, hull adjusting defensively. They weren't getting ready to attack the US submarine. They were preparing for something else. Something coming from below. The US submarine found a Russian base. But Russia had found something else. Something older, something hidden, something they feared far more than the Americans. And now it was coming closer. 2:42 a.m. Something moves beneath the ice. The unknown contact was getting stronger. Slow pulses, deep vibrations, a rhythmic hum that felt alive, not mechanical. The sonar operator's hand shook slightly. "Sir, whatever that is, it's bigger than our sub. Much bigger." The Russian vessel, still hovering outside the under-ice base, dimmed its lights completely, as if trying not to make the thing approaching angry. Then the Russian submarine sent a coded ping directly to the USS Connecticut. "Leave now." Not a threat. A warning. A warning shared between enemies. 2:56 a.m. The melt begins. The Russian base began melting the ice around it. Heat surge. Building collapse. Hull bending. The captain yelled, "Back us off. Get us away from the shelf." The Connecticut went down, slipping away from the cracking ice overhead. Chunks broke free, falling like frozen rocks into the black water. The unknown object drifted upward toward the base opening, as if drawn to the disturbance. 2:58 a.m. Reactor spike detected. An alarm screamed through the submarine. Radiation spike. Source, Russian facility. The Russian under-ice base wasn't a simple outpost. It had a reactor, and it was failing. The XO turned pale. If that thing blows, the entire ice shelf will collapse. 3 a.m. The decision point. The captain had no orders, no communication, no backup. Every move would be recorded later and questioned by history. But the reactor was heating fast. If the Russians had lost control of their secret base, then the US submarine was the only vessel close enough to act. The captain gave the order, "Prepare shockwave dampening buoys. We're going to try to contain the blast." The crew stared at him. It was insane. It was impossible, but it was the only chance. 3:02 a.m. The unknown object responds. As South Dakota prepared its countermeasures, the unknown object sent out another harmonic tone. Lower, stronger, urgent. The computer translated, "Do not interfere." The captain stiffened. Why? Why stop us? Was the object trying to prevent interference? Or was it warning them that stopping the reactor wasn't possible? The object drifted upward toward the Russian base, almost as if it wanted to watch the failure or cause it. 3:04 a.m. Reactor critical. Inside the base, heat signals peaked, pressure surged, metal bent, and then a blinding white flash burst inside the structure. The unknown object responded instantly. It fired a ripple of distorted energy. A shock-stopping field straight into the collapsing base. The blast dampened, the ice stabilized, the water pressure balanced, and the explosion never came. The Russian base was now gone, collapsed inward, but the Arctic had been saved. Not by the US, not by Russia, by it. 3:06 a.m. The final message. The unknown object turned to the Connecticut. One final harmonic pulse filled the water. The computer showed, "This place is not yours." Then a second line appeared, "You are being watched." And then, impossibly, a third. "So are they." The object went down back into the darkness, disappearing beneath the ice shelf, leaving the US submarine alone, shaken, confused, and carrying knowledge neither government was prepared for. The US found a Russian base under the Arctic. But Russia found something else, something older, something hidden, something watching. And now the Americans know whatever is beneath the Arctic ice isn't finished.